Boxes and scent work, they kind of go together, but I want to say right at the start, you don't have to use boxes if you are doing scent work. However, the chances are really high that you'll end up using boxes, and boxes are great. And specifically tonight I'm talking about cardboard boxes, because I've been saving some up. As you do, you'll discover that if you're just starting scent work, you'll think, well, what are these people talking about boxes for? And then you'll suddenly discover why we're talking about them and why we love them so much. So you can use boxes, but you can do it without them. So like you could hide things in the environment. So that could be a domestic environment, so you could hide it around furniture, or you could hide stuff outside, you know, using the hedgerows and the fences, etc. But boxes will always add layers to what you're doing. Etty's just come in because there's boxes everywhere and she's quite intrigued, wants to get on with some scent work. So you will probably end up using some boxes. You can use boxes in those environments as well. So you can use boxes in a field, you can use boxes in your garden, you can use boxes in your house. And with cardboard boxes, and you'll see the kind of boxes that I've got here, these are the sort of things that you just throw away. So these are the things that I generally don't buy something in order to get the box, but I have been known to do that. But when I get a box and I see something interesting about it, I immediately save it. I also have in mind which dogs I might use it for. You'll see with some of the boxes there's different options that of how you use them. But for example for Etty, I always look for some small boxes, something that she can play with easily. So I thought I'd start controversially by talking about boxes that I don't like. I know there are some, not many, but there are some. Most boxes are good boxes, and it depends how you use them, but there's some that I'm not keen on. This could be a box. You know, I count it as a box. It's a container with cardboard. However, it looks like it'd be really good, whereas you can slide the bottom off and then you could hide something in there. So you could put that in there, slide it over. However, this type of really crinkly plastic is really sharp. So it's, oh, it makes a horrible noise. It's got really sharp edges. These edges here are really sharp, and even if I'm running my finger, I've got to be careful. So the last thing I want to do is have my dog's nose anywhere near anything sharp. So this type of plastic in a box, I would discard, I wouldn't use. As I say, it looks like it would be good because it slides back on, but honestly, I don't like it. The other boxes, which is even more controversial that I don't like, are special scent boxes that you buy. You know, you get these nice little boxes with a hole cut in it, and it's specifically for scent work. People pay a lot of money for them. Absolutely zero need for them. Zero need at all. And the problem with them is that most people don't clean them properly. So they're not cleaned properly, and therefore they have levels of contamination on them. Also, when the dog sees the boxes, they go, oh, we're doing scent work with these boxes, and everything else in the environment tends to get put aside. For me, what I love about scent work is that I can do it anywhere on anything, so I can apply that scent anywhere. I don't want my dog coming into a room and going, oh, I'm only going to search boxes. And if you have been training very specifically with this one type of box, bearing in mind we're doing this for fun, for pleasure, you know, if you always do it the same kind of box and it's got the hole in it and the dog's got to go along the line, everything else falls aside. So I don't use them. I've never have used them. I've used them at a couple of workshops I've attended, but I don't use them myself. Save your money. Save your money, buy something fun. Don't buy a scent box. Let's go into more positive things. Let's go to boxes I really like. So, simple boxes. This box here can go in both camps. So if you are using boxes that have contained food, so this had pouches of cat food in it. Now, the cat food itself never makes contact with the box because the cat food comes in its own little pouches. You know, it just came up, lots of different pouches in there. This is a nice sturdy little box. It's a good little size. I can put things in it. I can put this in things. But you've got to bear in mind that where this has been stored, it's either been stored in an area where there's other pet food. It might have come from the warehouse where it's got pet food. And so therefore it might have a slight foody aroma to it. If you are going to use boxes that have food in them or have had food in them, whether it's pet food or whether it's food for us, cereal boxes, that's quite a common one that people bring to workshops. You do have to be very careful about where you are in your training. If you introduce a box that's had food in it or that smells strongly of an animal, we had a veterinary nurse come along and she brought some great boxes, but the dogs were all really intrigued by them. And that just been in the storeroom in the veterinary surgery, and so therefore that had that scent of animals around it. You know, contamination is really hard to avoid, and you don't want your dog being attracted to the box for anything other than the target scent. So if it has any animal scents or any food scents, the dog might be attracted to it for that reason. You've got to be very sharp on your indications. You need to know what you're looking for, so that you can go, oh, the dog's just interested in that, they're investigating it, as opposed to them actually indicating on it. So it's really important. Later on, as the training improves and they get more skills, then absolutely use boxes that have had food in them. Because then you're ready for that next stage and the dog's ready to go, oh, I can discard that, I don't want anything to do with that because there's no target scent in it. Or even though that smells of food, I'm going to still go in there and indicate on it, and you can confidently go, oh, great, I can see that indication, the dog's indicating there must be a target scent in there, rather than assuming there's food. Remember, never assume, always observe, see what you're doing, evaluate it, and then test it out. So for my little dogs, this is perfect. This is a great little size. It's nice and sturdy, really good. This box came in. Now, I didn't see the potential straight away. It was Christmas time, I was excited. This is a really nice big box. And one of the nice things about this is that it's got this Perspex front. Now, if you can see, there's 2 boxes in there. This actually had 9 of those boxes in there, and what I should have done is saved them all, because then that would have made a really nice Scentwork box. So I could have had 9 of those. And depending on what you're doing, if you're doing an active indication, then the dog can indicate on this box, and then I can open it up. And then the dog can go in and figure out which of the 9 boxes the target scent is in. If you're doing an active, passive indication, then probably quite happy for your dog to say, oh, it's in this big box, and stop there. Happy days. But yeah, these little boxes. So these little boxes can be used individually as well. They all had coffee in them. It was vacuum packed coffee, so I can't smell coffee. My dogs don't care if it smells of coffee or not. But they're just a nice little size. It used to be one of the myths that if you were going to hide cocaine from maybe one of the South American countries, that you would hide it in the coffee, because that would mask the smell of the cocaine. Without giving too much away, I'll just tell you that it didn't. But yeah, no cocaine here, just coffee. But with these, so I can close these, I can put these all in here, then I can put this lid on. I don't know if where my dog's going to indicate. I don't know if they're going to indicate along here, along this part, which is the join between the plastic and the cardboard, or whether they're going to indicate around these parts. I don't know. That's for my dog to let me know, for me to observe. So that's a really good box. So I'm going to use that one. I talked about little boxes for empty. So, you know, just like, you know, your toothpaste box, perfect. It doesn't have to seal at the end. If you want to seal it, you can put a bit of tape on it, no problem. You know, just little medicine. Oh, hello. Little medicine boxes, anything like that, really good for Etty. And then you can put a whole load of them in another box. This is one of my favourite types of boxes. This is a shoe box. I say that like you don't know, but it's a shoe box. And why I love shoe boxes is because it comes with all sorts of options. So you can have it closed, so just a closed box. These ones have little holes in them, so it might be that your dog gravitates towards the holes, and it might be that if you use quite a lot of shoe boxes in your searches, your dog automatically goes and looks for the holes. So it's like, oh, wait a minute, I know there's going to be something around here that the scent is going to come out of much more easily than something else. So they might start looking for that. But for dogs that are starting out, shoe boxes can be super interesting. I've left the packing in there because that can be useful. But I can have that upside down on the ground, and it gives you that little bridge. And so therefore the scent moves through there. And so that's a really nice one for them to start just putting the nose under the box and being a little bit brave. So yeah, so I love a shoe box. And then of course I can pack that full of all sorts of little boxes. So that is super useful, super useful. I got this box the other day. So again, if it's quite a sturdy box, it takes longer for the scent to soak into it and to permeate through it. So this is quite sturdy, but this, oh my goodness, I was so excited when I saw this. So you've got your box, and then you've got this nice seal for it to open, and then when you open it, it's got all these little bits in it. Now, it had another box inside it that was under this plastic. So I could put something under that plastic, and that stops it rattling around in the box, and it just keeps the scent in a little bit more, and then I can close it all up again. But I can also open this part, and I could put something in the back. One of the things that I really like to do, especially if I am the assistant for somebody else or I'm putting finds out, is I want to try and hide it in such a way that the handler doesn't see it. Because handlers will always try and get around things and try and see, can I see the article? And if they look in this box, they might go, oh, there's nothing in that box, it's empty. Because when they're looking in, they're seeing there. But they, at that point, do not know that this opens to a secret compartment. Oh, I know, it's the best. And this has got some of the plastic in it. I can even put it under there. So that's, you know, that's 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers, 4 layers. The more layers you have, the more the scent picture is smaller. The more the scent picture is smaller, the smaller the scent picture is. So it makes it a little bit more of a challenge. So I was very excited by this box. So we are definitely going to be using that box this week. I know, Amy, you know what I'm like. I've got to do it. I've got to do it. This box is really good. This actually had some lovely champagne in it. And therefore it's really thick. And if you see that, it's kind of almost like a double skin. So I can actually squish, if I push it really hard, I can squish things down there. And even if I put something in there and I seal that up, that's a really tough box. Depending on the size of the article you put in there, depending on how long you leave it in there, that will affect how difficult or easy it is for your dog. But these are great. These are great. So that was a really good one. So you can see I've got some really good searches coming up because I've got all these boxes. I do recommend that you come in and you do review how many boxes you've got and use them on quite a regular basis. Otherwise, you will find that you have lots and lots and lots and lots of boxes. You know, we don't all have storage just for boxes. You know, some people actually want to use their rooms for other things. This was a good one. I got this little external hard drive, and so that opens, and then look, what you say? Exciting, exciting. You know, when you're, I've got a question here about how do you get dogs to identify different types of scents. Just train them all the same way. So you introduce the scent, play with the toy that smells of that scent, gets a nice association going, and you can do that with however many scents you want. You've got to think about why you want them to find different scents. And a lot of what we do, there's no advantage to finding lots of different ones because every time you start a new scent, you've got to go back to the beginning, but you teach them all the same way. So yeah, fantastic. The other boxes that I love. And you see quite a lot of these are kind of techie boxes. The techie boxes usually have lots of different compartments, so they're really good. So like your phone boxes, your iPhone boxes, they're really good because they're really tough, they're really hard. They've got this covering on them, which again keeps that scent in much more. And then when you open them up, you've got little compartments. Now this is quite a straightforward one because this is just the box. But it's so thick. I don't know if you can see how thick that is compared to something like your standard Amazon box. You know, that's so super thin compared to that. That's really thick. Can you see? And so with this one, all that's in there is just this. So that's just a little insert, but that's enough just to keep that scent in there much more. Whereas if you didn't have that in there, it's still nice, but the scent can actually move around within that, and so therefore it's got more ways to access the outside world of the box, so the dog can hit it. But you can make that even more exciting, even more of a challenge. This one. So this one, I love that slow motion as you open that up. This one, the phone's in it. So if you leave the phone in there, then that makes it even more exciting. And if your phone has, this one doesn't, if your phone has a cover on it, you can hide something in the cover. Obviously, be safe. So if your dog is likely to chomp at this, do not use it. Make sure there's a cover on it to protect the glass and to protect your dog. But the phone covers are really useful. So that had a phone in it. And then it's got this little well that it sits in, and that comes out too. And then we've got the inside, and then that comes out. That's like the best. So for Cherry, I could put, this is quite a good thing, you could just scent a little bit of that up. So for Cherry, I could put something in there, and then I could put that back on it, and then I could put that on it, and then on top of that goes the foam, and then on top of that goes the lid. That's tough. That's really tough. But how exciting. So when your dog indicates on that, you know that your dog's really working hard, really working hard. So phone boxes are fantastic. So you can see whatever box you get, you know, you can use it for scent work. I'm looking, what have I got here? Yeah, look, I got a new kettle, my kettle died. So a kettle box. So this has got the shiny covering on it. So that's again a little bit tougher than just the cardboard that's not covered. That one, this is actually not as exciting inside. So inside it's just a normal box, but imagine I put this one in with the phone and all those layers in there as well. Oh, that's really good. Or I could put lots of these, I could put one of that little toothpaste one inside that and then put that in there. You're thinking about layers. The more layers you can put in, the better. Different types of scent to use if you're not going to use food. So I tend to use cheese if I'm going to do an edible find. If I'm not doing an edible find, I would use catnip. Catnip's great. Dried catnip, really, really good, safe, easy to get, and it's not usually around your house because you want a unique scent for your dog. So all these different boxes are here. So what I'd say is, next time you have a delivery, whatever it is, have a look at it and evaluate it for scent work. So if you get your dog food delivered, do you want your dog to be searching that big box? I say big box, I usually get, the big 12 kilo bags. I get a couple of them in a big box. And it's actually too big a box. My Labrador can fit in the box, so it's too big. But if I was at a venue where I had lots of space, something like that might be really useful. And I would always put other things in that. That's the kind of box that I could put sort of plastic in there. I could put buckets in there. I could put bags in there. All sorts of things. Have a look at the boxes that you get. Are they safe? That's always got to be your first priority. And are they appropriate to your dog and to what you're going to do with your scent work? So is your dog already working through layers, or are they just starting out, so they just need something quite simple to get into? Think about your boxes and how you sit them out. So you could sit it open to begin with, and then you can put one end up. So if you've got a little dog coming in, they've got to put their nose over that. So boxes are so flexible with how you can use them. It doesn't matter if something happens to them. It doesn't matter if you're using cheese, for example. You smear the cheese in, the dog finds it, licks it all out, box gets thrown away. You don't want to be reusing boxes that have had scent in them unless you're going to put that scent back in them again. And if you're using a box that's had food in it and the dog's licked it out, then absolutely do not reuse it. That gets used once, because then the dog's looking for other contamination on there, usually saliva, you know, they've been licking it out. So that's useless to use again. But anything else, think about how you're going to use it. Plan your search carefully. Think about how many boxes you need. Think about your storage. Definitely think about your storage. But before you put something in the recycling, think, can I use it for scent work? These are all just boxes, aren't, you know, some of these I saved since Christmas, some of them I've had quite recently. I do save things up. So I hope that was helpful in helping you with your hoarding habit of taking all the boxes and keeping them, and do not let your partner throw them all away until they've been used. But once they've been used, definitely in the recycling. And yeah, that is my addiction to boxes. Welcome to my world. Hopefully I will see you back here next week. If you want to find out a little bit more about setting out your searches, hit the link in bio. And I've put, what have I put in today? I put in the Designing the Perfect Search link, because I thought, well, that's really sort of what we were talking about here. So that's a really great little course packed with information, under 25 quid, and it can set you up for all your courses, all your searches from here on in. So thank you very much for stopping by. I see lots of people. Thank you very much, Izzy. I hope you see you again. Naomi, Amy, Janet. Yeah, lots of people. I can't read everyone. Ruth. So yeah, thank you very much.